Hey guys, this is part 31 of my video story, and we are now in late April, towards the end of April. But before we do our next race, going to go through another check on the results. So I haven't done one in April, so best do them all. So first of all, the Tour of the Basque Country. Valverde beat Kreuziger by 3 seconds, and Chris Froome didn't win a race for once. Some fairly significant injuries too. De Gent and Gerrans probably the main ones. Shelder Price was brilliantly won by Kochetkov with Danny Navarro second. Pretty realistic. Grand Prix Pino Cerami was won by Gatto. Much more realistic. Grand Prix of Sochi was won by Duran ahead of Bosisio. It was won by some guy called Natanga. Classica Primavera was won by Duarte ahead of his own teammate. Paris-Roubaix was won by Cancellara, Christoph and Bonen, the early ones within a minute of him. Greipel right up there, amazing. Stannard carrying on his good form, of course won the Tour of Flanders. De Brabantse Pijl was won by Gatto. Scholek and Van Heck were 24 seconds back. No World Tour teams thing is a bit of a blow, isn't it? Vuelta a Castilla y León was won by Arredondo ahead of Duarte. Duarte's doing pretty well this season. Tour de Finisterre was won by Navarro. Cofidis have only taken him to flat races so far. He's not done any mountains, it's really weird. But he finally got a win ahead of Pirazzi and Gallon. Amstel Gold Race was won by Valverde ahead of Sagan and Dan Martin. no real surprise. Well, bit of a surprise, I guess, but not really. Trentino was won again by Duarte ahead of his teammate Atapuma, then Pellizotti and another Colombia rider, Chavez. Flèche Wallonne was won by Nocentini, that is a surprise, ahead of Dan Martin, Rui Costa, Moreno, Nordhaug, Van Garderen and Albacini. Quite strange, was that a breakaway? Kirienka injured. Tour of Turkey's just started. That rather exciting race was won by Giraud, and then Liège-Bastogne-Liège was won by Valverde ahead of Nibali, Sagan and Vukler. So, Cunego injured. I think that's it. Yep. Oh, rankings wise, Valverde leads the World Tour. So Duarte is quite a long way ahead in the Continental Tour. Bauer, who hasn't raced for a while but he's still second, just ahead of Vukler, Natanga and Bataglin. Varga and Schroeder have also broke the 300 mark, and a big gap back to the rest. Bekele's 12th, Gombok 16th, and Kelly just peeping in there on 23rd. CQ is led by Chris Froome, just de Valverde, Sagan and Cancellara, who are way clearing the rest. Our first rider is Varga and Schroeder, level on points, amazingly. And then Natanga just down there. Cavendish and Froome lead the victories. Best team is Movistar, just ahead of Sky, but that'll all change, I would imagine. Well, maybe not. I'd imagine those two would be up there right at the end. Both got strong Grand Tour riders. We are slightly ahead in the Continental. Our lead has definitely been reduced a bit, but I think we should be able to comfortably win that. CQ, Sky are well clear of Movistar and Omega Pharma, and then we are in a close battle for 4th with Radio Shack. I would expect us to drop down the order quite a lot. We have double the wins of Omega Pharma, but we are riding at slightly different levels, and don't forget that none of these World Tour teams are riding continental races, so the easy victories that they usually get in those races are gone. Not there. So on to the racing, and before we do the Tour de Korea, We are in Britain, first race at home in the Rutland Melton Classic, which is a fairly local race for me actually. Finishing in the pork pie town of Melton Mowbray. As you can see, lots of cobbles. It's a very hard race, but obviously the level, it's only a .2 race, so it shouldn't be too hard for us. These recent stat upgrades, you guys have made some beasts. Check Varga out with his 77 flat. So you've got Varga, Kelly, Van Maxfield, Van der Velde, Gibson, Hashir, De Vries and Smith. Obviously our classics guys are slowly dropping their fitness now. They've done most of their work. Our strongest guy here is probably going to be Van Maxfield, but Vargo should still be up there anyway because he's such a strong rider. Gibson as well, so we'll see how it goes. Maybe get Smith into the break, I guess we could do. We should be massive favourites here. It's pretty difficult for anyone to beat us, I can't imagine. I don't know who the strongest classics rider at this level is, but there shouldn't be too many people with a chance of stopping us. But we've got to get it right tactically. So I'll come back in the race and see what our boys can do. So we're pretty much halfway through the race now, just over 100 kilometres to go. Obviously it's in Britain in April, so it's very wet, very windy, not particularly warm either. Smith is in a breakaway here with 15 others. Pretty big group. Graham Briggs is probably the best rider in it. We've had De Vries and Hashir riding on the front for quite a while now. The gap got up to 9 minutes before we even got to the first cobbles, so these two have, I mean look, it's down to 3 minutes. They've done brilliantly, lifting the pace on the cobbles, making it really hard, just trying to hurt everyone. We had the 5 favourites for the race. Top 5 favourites were all our riders, so it's definitely up to us to make it hard. Obviously Smith's not doing any work in here, he's just sitting at the back just in case. He'll be needed anyway if and when this group's caught, because he can take over the pacemaking on the front. So I'll come back near the end, and as you can see, Gibson's +2, which is helpful. Varga thinks he might be +4, which is even more helpful. So I'll come back later on. So Gibson was just leading out for the sprint, and he crashed, which is really talented, on the front of the peloton. Luckily didn't bring anyone else down, but from our team, but he has brought down Van Lerberger, Gosinen, who's one of the best riders here actually, and Ian Wilkinson as well, who's another good rider, and Matt Cronshaw, and Nathaniel English as well, so well played Tyler, mate. Obviously all he can do now is just cruise into the finish at his own speed, but we've done a lot of damage over the cobbles. Well done to all Hashir, De Vries, Kelly, Smith, their job's all done now. It's just Van der Velde, Varga and Van Maxfield left. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed with the total amount of riders that have been dropped in the wind and how hard the cobbles were. There shouldn't be. Oh, it's just split there actually. It should, as I say, the group should be smaller than 60, and it has just split. So we're down to 37 now. Obviously Kelly and Smith are done. So we'll see how this goes. It's pretty much. Oh no, so there's quite a rise actually. So it's not flat by any means, but we'll see how this goes. Like Barker and Sentians. Fancy a go. Give me one of their bars. Why not? Go Nick. Into this climb. Oh no, not quite yet actually. Now we're onto the climb. And Maxfield isn't really following him. Right, here we go. JJ Haydo. Interesting. This guy, 62 cobbles. What the hell? Right. Oh, we've got to sprint here. Go Zolt. Completely forgot to sprint again. I've really got to stop doing this. Wow. What the hell? 62 sprint. Just gets better and better. Go, Waldo. Go. Go, Waldo. Look at you accelerate. What a waste of time that was, telling you to sprint. Is Varga going to hang on here? Or are we going to lose another ridiculous race to Haydo, who is really not very good on cobbles, yet is apparently winning this race? Right, I really give up. I don't know what that was from Van Maxfield. I really don't know. 65 cobbles. I just remembered Van Maxfield has terrible acceleration. But still, that was poor. Second and third again. Buried the whole team for second and third. Nice. Like Sky Sports would ever cover any cycling race that isn't the Tour de France. I'm not sure they're actually aware that British races exist. Well, apart from the Tour of Britain, I guess. So yeah, Haydo won. I don't really understand that because he had already put in an attack earlier on as well. So it's interesting that he's able to get over those cobbles, attack, and then still beat everyone in a sprint. But there you go. Varga second, Van Maxfield third. He really needs to sort that acceleration out, doesn't he? Stuyven and Sentiens also up there. Van der Velde 19th. There was only 29 in the front group in the end. Then Smith and Kelly. Gibson 55th after that fail. And then De Vries and Hashir finished together. So, what can you say? We just don't like JJ Haydo, do we? We really don't like him. Why he's riding at this level anyway, I don't know. But there you go. Next up, we have the Tour de Korea, the opening stage. 172 kilometers. Classed as flat, but that is definitely not flat, is it? There's hills everywhere, including a very steep one not far from the line, and then a gentle drag up to the finish. So it's going to be very hard for the sprinters. Obviously, we come here hoping to win the GC. Got a lot of climbers, but Zoltan is the one for today. His fitness isn't great; it's getting better, but he should still be able to do something at this level with his hill stat. Hasn't really got anyone that can help him, apart from Bennett. But the rest of the team are going for the GC, particularly Kumano, who's peaking, Yamada and Meek, and maybe Rodriguez as well. But it all depends on the mountain stage, the one mountain stage really. If any of those guys have a +5, then they're going to be favoured. And then we've got Mujagic and St Ledger that are here for the team time trial mainly. But definitely try and get somebody into the breaks today. I think we'll get. I think we'll put Rodriguez into the break today, but we'll see. And then obviously hope Zoltan can win the sprint. So come back at the end of what should be a pretty difficult stage. Right, we've got 6 kilometers to go here. First thing to say is this race is a waste of time. There are 8 teams here, 56 riders in total, and we've got 7 riders that can climb better than the next best climber here. So I don't know whether I'm really going to bother reporting on it, to be honest. But because of the low numbers, I've had to really take control of the race all day. As you can see from Mujagic's bars, Mujagic has been riding on the front from kilometre 0. Not a particularly high effort, but just enough so that somebody's riding on the front. And as for the flat, this stage is about as flat as Liège-Bastogne-Liège. It's been uphill, downhill all day. Yet nobody's been dropped because we've been riding into a headwind the whole stage. So that's interesting. Well, our guys are okay there. So yeah, it doesn't look like there's some really bad climbers here, yet they've managed to stay in the peloton somehow. So all we've got to do here is give Zoltan a one-man lead out. Bennett's won all 3 King of the Mountains points for what it's worth, which is basically nothing. Can these guys sprint? Kumano's got a decent sprint. Meek, of course, my super sprinter. Got a top 10 in that one-day race. Right, so who's on Zoltan's wheel? Barth, 68 sprint. There are some decent sprinters here, to be honest. I don't know where they are though. These guys are all in the 60s. Sam Bennett is here for Anpost. Don't know where he's disappeared to. But strange. So back up to the front. This guy can't even deal with this pace. 63 sprint. Interesting. Zoltan is going now. So it's the first time in the whole stage it's not been into a headwind. Sprint, 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 sprint. That's a hold. So Zoltan's coming up towards the line here. This is a fair effort from this guy. He's not a very good rider, but he's not too far away from winning that. So Zoltan gets an easy win. This race could be rather boring. I'll probably try and do this very quickly. Barth second, then Padur. Bennett hangs on for fourth. Kamano in 10th. Everyone will get the same time. All the way down to this guy. So Zoltan could end up winning every single one of the flat stages here. As I say, there are sprinters here, but for some reason they didn't bother sprinting. I mean, Sam Bennett, I think, is the next quickest. He's a fair sprinter. I don't know too much about the riders from, Quantec and Thüringer, but the best climber here, apart from ours, is one of the EPM riders. Rinson, is it? Yeah, him. He's like 69 mountain, I think. So, I mean, this is just embarrassing. So what I'll try and do is, I think, just get through the whole thing, to be honest, as quick as I can. Tell me what you think, but I'm fairly sure I'm just gonna race the whole thing, just show you the last few kilometers of each stage. I'm not even gonna do this, show you the results and that, or give you a preview. I'll just show each stage, because this is a bit of a waste of time, to be honest. Oh, also, just before I end, I forgot to go through the sponsor goals when we started April. Top 3 in the Circuit Sart, which Schroeder did. In fact, he was second, and then top 3 in the Trobro Leon. We won it, so sponsors pretty pleased at the moment. Next ones are in May. Top 5 in the Amgen Tour, which obviously knowing with the World Tour bug should be pretty doable. So yeah, I think that's it. As I say, this Tour de Career thing, I think I might just try and get through it, certainly up to here, as quickly as I can. Obviously then we've got some one-day races, but I might try and cram all of these 5 into one video. I mean, that's a team time trial, so I'll simulate it anyway, but then I might just try and get through the whole thing, because it's a shame for these 8 riders here, because I was looking forward to seeing what they could do, but it's just a waste of time. Massive waste of time. I could have brought our 8 worst riders here. I could have brought guys that couldn't climb at all and they'd have had a chance. So, yeah. That'll be in the next video. But thanks for watching. Enjoy me next time.